Welcome all masters. Welcome to Honest Meditation Katha sessions. Uh, Today we have Bindu Bodanapu from UK. Master Bindu Bodanapu is a chartered accountant by profession, working in IT for a large retailer in the UK. She had an awakening in the year 2020 where she discovered her true purpose of life through meditation and spiritual sciences. She had decided to listen to her true inner calling, and Bindu is a trained and certified life coach, a therapist, and a healer. Master Bindu is a consciousness and healing contributor to the world. Her mission is to help millions of people around the world and awakening their consciousness. Today, Bindu Master is taking the session on the topic The Divine Matrix. We warmly welcome you, Master.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's really lovely to be here today on this platform. And it's truly amazing. I'm really honored to be here today. And if I can start the session by sharing my PPT, that's okay. I think, can you allow me to share my PPT?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you everyone for joining the session. And today I'm going to talk about the topic called the Divine Matrix. It's one of my favorite topics, and it is very apt for what we are doing right now, which is the oneness. So as I share my PPT, let me talk you through what exactly it is. And okay, so thank you everyone for joining. And today's topic is the Divine Matrix. So this is a very powerful topic. And when I delved into this topic, I was totally blown away, truly fascinated by this topic. And I would like to share some of the knowledge which I have gained on this topic to you. So what is a divine matrix? Let's understand today what is a divine matrix and what are its characteristics and how are we connected to this matrix and how is it related to our human consciousness and what is the characteristic of this divine matrix in terms of how can we communicate to the divine matrix and how can we use this divine matrix for our healing, our relationships, our peaceful relationships, and also the peace in the world. So what is a divine matrix? So if somebody asks me a question, what is a divine matrix? A divine matrix is basically when there was a big bang. We all must have heard about the big bang, right? That was 13 to 20 billion years ago when there was a very big bang in the universe. And that's when it just split apart and we all have been split up as a form of energy. So this has formed a web of energy in the universe. The scientist Max Planck has identified this and called it the matrix. So now, what is exactly, where are we within this matrix? So if we understand the divine matrix is like a container in the universe that exists. So it's that field of energy. So it is a bridge between our inner worlds and the outer worlds. It is a mirror that reflects our day-to-day feelings, thoughts, emotions, and the belief system. So if you imagine, masters, when the Big Bang happened, we have come from a mass of energy that has split apart. And then we all are connected to the source, right? So this source and the way we have split up, we all are connected in the form of a web of energy. So this is called the divine matrix. So if you understand where are we within the matrix, we are everywhere. I mean, the matrix is everywhere. So it is inside us, it's outside us, It is a bridge between the inner world and the outer world. And it is also like a mirror. Whatever we are feeling within, it's reflected in the reality. So this is the field where we all originated from. So when did this divine matrix appear? It was there from the time the universe was created. So this field of energy responds to the human emotions. If we need to really understand this, this field of energy responds to the human emotions. Now, I really like you to really take a very close look at this picture for me. Very important. So what do we see here on this? We see a painter who is painting. So what does a painter need? A painter need colors. The painter need an idea in his mind what to draw, and he needs a brush to paint the colors. Whereas in this divine matrix, there is no separation between the art and the artist. If you see this picture very closely, you see the man who is drawing that picture. What is in the picture is exactly himself, right? So what that means is we are the canvas as well as the image, and we are the tools as well. So if you understand whatever we are thinking, whatever we are feeling, whatever we are expressing, it could be deepest passions, it could be fears, dreams, desires, is what we are actually creating in this mysterious quantum canvas. So if you imagine this whole universe is like a canvas, what are we doing? We are painting our own reality. How are we painting a reality? With our thoughts, feelings, emotions, belief system, and we are actually creating it. So everything in this world is connected to everything. Because why is it connected? You would have heard this phrase all the time: we are connected, we are one, oneness. What does it exactly mean? Because when I heard this phrase, I never understood what that really means when they said we all are connected in the universe, we all are one. Why? Where is the source? But this is the source. The Big Bang is the source. And then how are we connected? We are connected to this web of energy. If you see this picture, this is how the universe looks like. And we all are connected in this web of energy. So what is the characteristics of this universe? The universe is participatory. What that means is the universe is responding to what you're thinking, what you're feeling, and what you are expressing. So the act of focusing our consciousness is the act of creation. Consciousness creates. So again, let's understand what is consciousness. We hear this word in our meditation, spiritual sciences. Consciousness is nothing but our thoughts, feelings, emotions. Conscious and subconscious belief system together is called the consciousness. So for example, now, when we talk about, let's say, the burning problem in the world, we say inflation. If every one of us are talking about inflation, that inflation is going to become a more and a more of a reality. It could be a reality, but how big is the reality? We don't know. But the more and more people are talking about inflation, it is going to become bigger. That's what it is. If more and more people talking about drought, for example, we are creating it. It's us who is creating it. It's not the universe. It's the human consciousness that is creating. Universe is just reflecting what we all are thinking. So now this is very interesting. So now the scientists, they're very clever and they really want to investigate. Because the universe is participatory, that means it is actually responding to each and every thought we're thinking, right? Now the universe wanted to find the smallest particle in the universe. So they were started looking and looking. And they looked at atoms, protons, electrons, neutrons. Whatever is the smallest. They thought this is what it is. But then because the intention of the scientists was to find what is the smallest particle. They could never find what is the smallest particle. Why? Because their intention was to find something So universe is responding to their thoughts, and the universe kept on expanding. The more and more research they did, the universe kept on expanding, and they could never find the answer to that, because universe is merely reflecting of what we are thinking, right? So we have all the power. We need to change what we choose. So this is what it is. So we create our own reality. So we have all that innate powers within us to create all that we want. If we want to change the world, yes, we have the power. If we want to destroy the world, yes, we have the power. So it is so important to understand, yes, we are the creators of the reality, and the universe is getting impacted because of each and every one of our thoughts. Each and every person is contributing to the universe. We all are connected to everything, everyone, and everything in the universe. Therefore, everything one does as an individual affects the whole. All thoughts, words, images, prayers, blessings, and deeds are listened by all that is. So, what that means? So, that means if you can pray for somebody, it is reaching the universe, and the universe is getting impacted. If you are, living in fear, the universe is getting impacted, because you are sending out a negative vibration into the universe. It can be positive or negative. It is us who is creating it, and just not just not the whole of the individuals, but each and every individual thoughts are affecting the universe. This is something very important, masters, for all of us to understand. The more negative, and I mean, people, the more and more people watch the news is 95% is negative, right? So the more and more your consciousness, you're thinking about it, we all are contributing to the world's problem. So this is something very important to understand. Each and every one of us are contributing to the universe. So the focus of our awareness becomes the reality of the world. So like I just said, when we talk about a problem over and over again, it is becoming a problem. The more and more you talk about the war, it is becoming the reality. The more and more we spoke about COVID, yes, that got much worse. So likewise, we have the power to flip it and change it. The more and more positivity, the more and more meditations we do, we are equally impacting the universe in a positive way. So that is something very important to understand. It's the awareness, it's the consciousness. So what is the universe like? The universe is holographic in nature. What that means is, so for example, everything, in the whole, generally what is a holograph? Is basically, a small piece of something, has a picture of the whole thing. So for example, I'll give you a simple example. So if you have a mirror, for example, when you look at the mirror and you reflect the mirror into the sky, you see the sun, the sky, probably the birds, or whatever you can see. And suddenly you drop the mirror, and the mirror is broken, right? And you take a smallest particle of the mirror, or a smallest piece of the mirror, and then you reflect. What does it show? It shows again the whole picture, isn't it? It shows the sky, the birds, the sun, and everything. So that is what holographic means. We are all holographic. So this nature of the universe applies to our bodies, our lives, and the universe. So that means every thought we are thinking is actually impacting the universe. So the brain functioning again. So because now let's understand, how is it impacting? How is the universe holographic, and how is it impacting a body? So for example, they did a study in the USA. So because they understood the universe is holographic, let's try, and now we understood, the more and more we talk about wars, the more and more we talk about COVID or inflation, it's getting worse. Great. But let's look at the other side. So now what they did, they took 10,000 people, okay, and 10,000 people, and then they basically made them to meditate, okay. So when they started meditation to create a peace around the earth, because What we are doing, we are sending out fear earlier, watching the news, talking about COVID and all that. But now here we're asking the universe, we are basically trying to meditate. So let's send out positivity. So this is called the Maharishi's effect. And very surprisingly, because of the holographic nature of the universe, when they saw that group meditation was done by 10,000 people, it created a positive effect in the world because of the holographic nature of the universe. So they have done some research and they have recorded some data. So hospital admissions were less. People who got admitted in the hospital because of mental disorders, nervous system, heart failures, or injuries, all kind of ailments were completely reduced. And again, they've seen there was very less crime that was happening in that area. Why is it happening? It's because of the holographic nature of the universe, the kind of thoughts we're sending out. Basically, because of group meditation is supposed to create or raise the vibration of the planet. That is why they have seen this great impact in that area where the hospital admission rate has reduced, the crime rate has reduced because of the meditation. Now we can see how we all are contributing to the planet by doing this oneness meditation. That is amazing, right? So now, most importantly, so what is the formula? How many people? So we can't get the whole of the population in the world to meditate. So how many people is needed to actually meditate to give us that positive effect? So again, this is a formula. It is basically a square root of 1%. What that means is, for example, in a city of 1 million people, only 100 people is good enough to create that impact to the universe. This is called the tipping point. In the world of 6 billion people we are in currently, only 8,000 people are enough to create that positive impact onto the universe. So we, PSSM, I believe, are much more than 8,000. And likewise, many other groups who are doing the similar thing as meditation and seva are creating a very positive impact to the universe. Phenomenal, right? So the reason why we are connected in the universe and why do we need to do this oneness meditation is this is the reason. So when we come together as one and we meditate, we are together impacting our planet in the most positive way. When I was initially part of light workers group, when they were doing meditations at the same time, I was wondering how can people sit in their own homes, meditate, and can actually impact the world or the universe. I never knew this, but now when this is a scientific information coming through from the scientists, we now understand it better, why and how we are actually impacting the universe. So something is connected. If something is joined, it is always connected, whether it is physically linked or not. So sometimes you see, we come across different people in our life and, you feel that there is some connection. You might not have met them physically, but the reason why it is because we are connected with the web of energy. So there is always this connection between the other people. Likewise, like the meditation, when we all coming together, we don't know each other personally in our day-to-day life, but when we come together, we feel that oneness, we feel like a family. So there is a connection, right? So this is what it is. So now, because of this, the way the universe works, we are living in a reflected reality. So what that means is everything that will happen in our lives will show up before in our surroundings. So if you see maybe in movies or, so before there's something going to happen, you see the birds flying really, really fast, or, the dogs are barking, you see some signs, right? Because why? Because the universe is actually trying to show it even before the event has happened. This is how, because we all are connected, the birds, animals, fish, trees, every one of us are connected in the universe because we all came from the same source. which is the Big Bang. So I'd like to give you a case study. So this is a case study of an owner who had a dog. This dog was actually not feeling great because it was in a very poorly condition. So now the owner also felt a little bit unwell. So the son asked her, "Can you go and see the doctor?" And when the doctor saw this lady, the owner, they said that you have some problem. She was diagnosed with something. So what that means is, because we all are connected in this field of energy, because the dog is the pet and the dog always lives with the owner, the dog took the illness of the owner because we are just vibrating in the universe. And when the owner recovered completely from our ill health, that's when the dog also completely healed itself. Can you see the connection, how we all are connected in the universe? It's a field of energy that we live in. So it is so important to understand this. And then there's another case study where a couple is having constant problems in the relationship. And suddenly they saw in their house there was a big burst of water pipe, burst of water pipe in the kitchen and in the garage. The whole house was a havoc. So now, so when they went deeper into the problem and they understood, so somebody asked her, "Is there any problem with your relationship? What is happening between you?" The lady said, "Oh, our relationship is like a pressure cooker. It's too much of pressure. We're not getting along." So can you see that pressure? Because we all are in the same field of energy, the pressure or the stress or the anxiety that the people are emitting is affecting the environment. And this is why this has happened. Phenomenal, right? So it's just not only human being, but also the other things are impacting because of this. So now we understood the problems that are created because when we are not in the right state of awareness, or when we are not using our consciousness properly. So, but how can we use this divine matrix to heal our body, to manifest, either a good job or a relationship or whatever it is? How can we use it positively is something that we need to understand. How do we communicate to this divine matrix? How does the matrix understand what do we want? Right? So now the modes of prayer, before we go into that, I want to quickly give a recap, or understand the modes of prayer. When we pray to God, there's many different kinds of prayer. Okay, the first one, informal prayer. What does that mean? So you're driving in a car park and then you don't see a space, and then you're praying to God, "Oh God, I want a space in the car park." You're just praying to God. So that is an informal prayer. That means you're asking God, "I want something," just as impromptu, right? And then petitionary prayer. What does that mean? That means if somebody, for example, your son is not well, or your mother is not well, or family member is not well, then you're praying to God and asking God, "Please, can you help this person?" That is a petitionary. That means you're putting a petition to the God. And then the third one is meditational prayer. That is again, you're being in the state of meditation. And sometimes some people chant mantra so again, that's another type of prayer. And the fourth one is ritualistic prayer. That is very religious, ritualistic prayer, where you put candles, or do aarti. In the Indian culture, we do ritualistic prayer. And the fifth form of prayer is called the feeling prayer. This is a prayer that has been completely hidden, even in the Bible. It's a lost mode of prayer. What is this? Is a feeling prayer. What does that mean? That means expressing gratitude even before something has happened. It's called the feeling. Feeling as if. So, feeling as if something has already happened is the technical word of prayer. That is what Neville Goddard says, right? So now understand, how do we speak to this divine matrix? Feeling is the language that the divine matrix understands. That means feel as though your goal is accomplished and your prayer is already answered. So, for example, somebody wants to pass their exam, right? Or instead of saying, oh God, please help me, I want to pass my exam. Instead of that, they could say, they could feel gratitude and said, oh, thank you, God, for letting me pass my exam. That means you're expressing gratitude earlier to even before your goal is achieved, feeling as if your goal is achieved. So that is basically expressing gratitude. This is the language the divine matrix understands. So where are we coming from? We are coming from the joy. We're coming from the vibration of joy, happiness, not from the lower frequency vibration of fear, anger, jealousy, hatred, right? We are vibrating at a very high level when we are expressing that the feeling prayer. So basically, a few examples. So for example, I mean, there was a case study that was done when a man asked the universe for a rain in New Mexico. There was no rain for ages. Okay, so this man prayed with the feeling which communicates to the divine matrix. How can you pray? He prayed, he felt the way he prayed was, he felt as if it was raining. His legs are, his feet are filled with mud in the rain. His clothes are soaked. He was hearing the sound of the rain. He's smelling the mud in the air. So this is what a feeling prayer is. That means he's expressing the feeling of the wish already being fulfilled. That means the rain is already there and he's expressing gratitude. This is the language that the divine matrix understands. That is why gratitude plays a huge role, because we all talk about gratitude. And why is it important? Because that is the language the divine matrix understands, because you're expressing gratitude. Similarly, if you want a goal to be achieved, yes, you need to feel as if this goal has already been achieved, and you're feeling the feeling of how seeing the end. We call it seeing the end in Neville Goddard's teachings. He says, see the end. What does that mean, see the end? For example, in this scenario, if you want the rain, see the end. That means seeing that the rain is already there. I'm playing in the rain. My feet are wet in the mud. My clothes are dirty. Using all your senses, basically. Use all your senses. Smell, touch, taste, right? So smelling the mud, feeling that your clothes are wet. You're hearing the sound of the rain. And, just feeling the cold when it's raining. So all that is the language that the divine the divine matrix understand the emotion, basically. In simplest words, it's the emotion of being that person. Okay. Now, feel as if your prayer is answered, your body is healed, your perfect relationship is here, your abundance is present. Invoke your senses. So in simplest word, the language that the divine matrix understands is using your senses. Completely use your senses to feel as if it's been already accomplished. Now, there's another case study where these Tibetan monks have to heal a lady. So how did they heal a lady? They healed a lady who was suffering from tumor, and the doctor said there's no other resort. This lady cannot survive because of the tumor. But these Buddhist monks helped the lady heal the cancer or the tumor completely in 2.40 minutes. 2.40 seconds, basically 2 minutes and 40 seconds, the Buddhist monks completely healed her. How did they do that? They did that without no judgment. When you're praying, when you're feeling, you should not have any judgment against anybody. There should not be any ego. So these Buddhist monks, they're very pious. They are really somebody who lives truly by example. Right? So they heal this lady saying, It's done, it's done, it's done. So they believing the divine matrix is completely healing. So they didn't have any judgments against this lady, and they believed the humor is already gone, and they felt the feeling. And when they felt the feeling, the tumor disappeared in 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Can't be a miracle than this, right? If we understand how the universe works, we can do miracles in our life, because this is not something that's been taught in schools, and this is not something we having a very logical mind would believe in. But we need to keep our logical mind aside. It's only when we keep our logical mind aside and completely trust and surrender to the universe, this can happen. So we are creating the universe as we go. So John Wheeler is a great scientist who said, we are the one who creating the universe. How? Again, thoughts, feelings, and emotions, whatever our consciousness is. That is why Brandon Bayes, she says consciousness is a new currency. Dr. Bruce Lipton says energy is a new currency. That means we don't, just like the way we don't throw away the money, we don't waste our energy in thinking unnecessary thoughts. This is very important. So Dr. Bruce Lipton, another leading scientist of the world who bridges science and spirituality, I know all of you know who he is. He says our Earth, all of us need to understand this. Our Earth planet is going into extinction. It is the 6th mass extinction is underway. The scientists are warning. Why? Why is this happening? We already lost 95% of the animals who actually lived on this earth. And they say that by 2048, you will not be able to see any seafood in the ocean or any fish in the ocean. And it is very scary. It's not far away, right? Why is this happening? Who is creating this? It is the human beings that is creating it. It is because we all are living in fear. We are powerful human beings or powerful spirits, or rather, we are the spiritual beings come to this planet Earth for a human experience. But because we've forgotten that, we're living in fear. And because we are living in fear, it's a consciousness that's creating the reality. All this is happening, the COVID, the rains, floods, famines, and wars. It's that fear. So let's understand what are the kind of fears that we are facing. Separation and abandonment. So when the baby is in the mother's womb, the baby thinks its mother's womb is so secure, very happy, joyful. And by the time the baby comes out of the mother womb, and sometimes I see when it has been separated from the mother, the baby feels that separation. And sometimes we see a lot of scenarios and real life scenarios where the child is not looked after properly by the parent. They're called abandoned child. It's abandonment. And the other day I was talking to Dr. Bruce Lipton, and I was asking a real case scenario about a child who is suffering from autism. How can we help this child? And he has given me the reasons why this is happening. And he said that when the child or the baby is in mother's womb, and when the mother is going through a lot of stress when she is pregnant, and then because of this chronic stress, a lot of cortisol levels in the body increases, and the baby goes into, oh my god, this is so fearful, I don't want to come out of it, I don't want to go to this earth planet, and the baby goes into abandonment. That means that is why that's when the autistic children are born, who does not make an eye contact. And he very beautifully explained, because they they think, oh, I just don't want you anymore, I just feel abandoned. So that is the feeling the child has. So it can happen during the fetal stage, it can also happen postnatal, after the baby is born. And when the baby is not looked after by the parent, not given enough love, touch, feelings of hug, then the child feels abandoned. So this is a kind of abandonment and separation. As they grow up, they have the same feeling. The second one is low self-worth. All of these are inner child issues. When child has been criticized too much, the child, develops very low self-worth. That means they think they're not worthy, they're not good enough. If the child is being compared with another child, they feel low, very low self-worth. So again, that is the reason why we live in fear. And the third one is surrender and trust. When there is no trust and surrender, so we don't normally, generally we don't trust our many times, we don't trust our neighbors, sometimes we don't even trust our own family members. What does that happen? So we are living in fear. Why we don't trust somebody is because we are in fear, right? Surrender to the universe. We don't surrender because we think our logical mind is more powerful. So when we don't surrender, again there is fear, because the divine matrix understands the language, which is your emotion. So you can ask anything. Ask and it shall be given. That is what it says in that Bible, right? The universe is always trying to give you whatever you ask for. But then, are you asking? Are you asking and surrendering yourself? No, we are not doing it. We are asking probably, but we are still living in fear because we are not surrendering. So it is so important to understand that whatever you want, it will be given by the universe, but you need to surrender and you need to trust the universe. So now we understood a lot about divine matrix. How are we contributing to the universe? How are we influencing the whole of the universe? So now let's understand, how can we rewrite the reality, the current reality that we have, whatever it is happening in the world right now. Okay, cooperation and not competition. So we all are fighting with each other, competing. Even if you see, we as human beings individually, we try to compete. What for? We don't need to compete, right? The universe is abundant. We can have anything and everything. So instead of competition, let's teach our children cooperation, because we have been brought up with a different programming altogether. But now it is our turn to teach our children, no need to compete, cooperate, help others. When you help others, you grow equally, right? Understanding the universe, understand how the universe works. And this is the biggest flaw, because none of the school system is teaching how the universe is working. They only thought about Newtonian law, which is law of gravity. But that's not it. It is a quantum physics which is more apt. So again, understanding how the universe works. Unity instead of separation. Let's not, separate each other. Let's all be together. Oneness. Again, oneness is the feeling that we need to have, because we all are impacting each other. If I'm scared and I'm feeling worried, I'm sending out vibration of fear, I'm impacting the universe. So let's not do it. Just be in the state of oneness. Be happy all the time. Changing the limitation beliefs that we have. We have so many self-sabotaging and limiting beliefs, and because it's all coming from the teachers and the parents and the society. So let's let go of this old belief system and bring about a new belief system. So that's how we can change who we are. And conscious parenting is really important, because whatever we have been brought up with, most of them are incorrect, because we've been asked to compete, study hard, work hard. We don't need to work hard, we can do it effortlessly. I know many people who succeeded phenomenally without actually working hard, really working effortlessly, because it's a law of the universe where you can manifest with your thoughts, which you can actually do it effortlessly. And living in awareness, thinking, what are we thinking all the time? Are we ensuring that the thoughts are positive or negative? If it is negative, what are we doing about it? Immediately switching it to positive thoughts. So this is how together we all can rewrite the reality of our own lives. And finally, the body, our body, Dr. Bruce Lipton says that our body is made of 50 trillion cells. 50 trillion cells, each and every cell has consciousness. And each and every cell responds to the environment we're living in. If the cells in harmony, the body is functional. And if they are not in harmony, this is when it leads to autoimmune diseases. So Dr. Bruce Lipton is a pioneer in epigenetics. He says that none of the diseases is caused because of the genes. It's caused because of the environment we live in. They did so many experiments. And we if we don't love our body, we don't take care of our body, if we are going to have a disharmony in the cells, and this is when we have diseases in our body. So just like the way we are not just one human being, he says we're not one human being, we are a community of 50 trillion cells. That is why he's always talking about community, building community, being together, oneness, right? So this is all, we can all grow together rather than separation and fear. Okay, I hope I'm on time. I'll stop sharing for a second. And anybody has any questions, or else can we go into meditation?
Hello, masters. If anyone has any questions, please you can unmute yourself and you can speak, or you can share your experience, or we can do the meditation for 10 minutes, or we can meditation.
Okay, should we do meditation for 10 minutes then? I'm just gonna...
Yes, madam. We can do the meditation.
Sure, okay, I'm just gonna... Okay, masters, let's go into meditation. I'm just gonna play very soft music, and I hope the music is audible. Let's all take the most comfortable position. Anybody wearing glasses, remove your glasses. Completely relax your body. Sit in the most comfortable position. And bring your awareness to your breath. Observe your most natural, gentle, soft in-breath and out-breath. With each and every in-breath, observe a sense, a wave of relaxation passing through your body right until your feet. As you exhale, let go of any stress, any strain from your body and your mind. Observe each and every in-breath and out-breath. Forget your surroundings. Forget your family. Forget your belongings. Forget your profession. And forget your body. Completely withdraw your attention from your surroundings and bring your attention to the world inside you. Meditation is the greatest gift you can give yourself. Observe each and every in-breath and out-breath. Become one with your in-breath and out-breath. If you observe any thoughts in your mind, gently bring your awareness back to your in-breath and out-breath. The purpose of this meditation is to completely lose yourself and become one with your in-breath and out-breath, to connect with the divine within you. Your true self and the divine self. Each and every one of us are connected in the universe by this divine matrix. Let go of any fears. Let's raise a vibration and send love, joy, and happiness to the universe. Observe each and every in-breath It's now time to express gratitude. Let's express gratitude to our parents, teachers, family members, neighbors, and each and every person we have met in this life.
Gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful.
Let's express gratitude with the food that we eat, the water that we drink, the shelter, the birds, animal, and the fish.
I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 So grateful.
Let's express gratitude to the sun, the moon, the stars, and our Mother Earth for giving a beautiful experience of life.
I'm grateful. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. So grateful. So grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. So grateful. I'm so grateful. So
Gratitude is the highest state of perception.
so grateful.
The more and more gratitude we express, the more and more events we draw into our life to be grateful for. I would now like you to bring your awareness to the present moment, and whenever you're ready, gently unlock your fingers, place them on your eyes for a few seconds, and then open your eyes with a beautiful smile on your face. Thank you, Masters. I hope you all are back from meditation.
Hello.
Yes, Master.
Thank you so much, madam. It was really a wonderful session. Even the slides also are really amazing. You have prepared. It is just by reading the slides also can easily get the knowledge. Amazing slides you prepared. Really, I love the slides you prepared. Thank you so much, madam. Always, whenever I see slides, you come with new PPT and slides. See, they're so much attractive, and content is also very apt with a few words, and it is so much amazing. Always, when I see the slides of your sessions, great, madam. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sanket. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you so much, madam. Today we are here near Roosevelt Stadium. Here we have the opening match, and the opening ceremony is there. Here also your wisdom and the meditation energies are spread. I am very happy for that. Along with the opening ceremony, our meditation energies also getting spread here in the Lucille, everywhere, the Lucille Stadium. Thank you so much for that. It was really the amazing meditation. Short, it was 10 minutes, but it was very nice meditation. Thank you so much for that also.
Thank you, Sanket.
Anyone
Thank you,
else wants-
Masters, for taking your time and joining. If you have any questions, feel free to unmute yourself and ask any questions.
Thanks a lot, Ji Master. Yes, sir. If anyone has any questions, please you can share experience, anything.
Hello, Bindu. Good evening. Good evening, Sanket.
Good evening, sir.
I'm sorry, I was a bit busy and I couldn't join it on time. Could you please share your PDF or whatever this divine matrix is about? Could you share it in the group so that I can, look at, because I missed the session.
Madam, you're on
Sorry,
mute.
sorry, I was talking in mute. I believe it's been live streamed. I think it is on YouTube, I believe.
Yes,
Right,
ma'am,
Sanket?
definitely. I will, yes, ma'am. It is recorded. I will share the recording also in the group unto you, everyone. You can just go through the PDF of live. Everything slides are there displayed.
No problem. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for the time. Huh?
Thank you, sir. It's a bit of a heavy topic, but it's really interesting. So I thought this is a great topic to understand why we all should meditate and what are we contributing to the universe. Anyone else has any questions?
Don't you think the music was a little bit disturbing for the meditation?
Was it loud? Was it loud enough?
No, because usually, as far as I know, or as far as I meditate, I think being quiet is helpful, no? Without any music or noise. And just my opinion, don't feel offended, okay?
No, not at all. Yeah. Even I don't use music and now because when I used to, when I was a beginner, yes, I used to look for music, but now I don't really enjoy any music. I like to meditate in silence. So yeah, but I wasn't sure if that was the case, we would have just meditated without music.
No,
But
from
thanks for that.
It was perfect. I think so. From there, and it was loud. I think from mine, it was perfect. The volume, everything was very low, perfect. And the music was very smooth, soothing, and nice. We also generally play music here. All the sessions here. Generally, we at least in the background we play at very low volume the music. Also, when you're guiding, we reduce very low. And we also generally play some of the music and we made it because some are new beginners, so we have to share the music. So we don't know whether the beginners are the experienced people. So for the beginners, if music is there, if they're not able to focus on the breath, at least they can focus on the music. That's the reason we are also trying to share the music. That's the reason.
Yeah, music, it kind of sets you in a trance.
Yeah. If you're in example in session, if you're playing music, if you're without music comfortable, you can just disconnect the audio and you can meditate. That also is good. Or you can just reduce the volume to the very low also. That's because we have to go as per the audience, everyone. That's the reason.
Okay, boss. Okay.
Thank you so much. Yes, madam. Think so. No questions. In the chat also,
Okay.
they have just given. It's a really great session. Thanks for the nice talk. Thanks, master.
Thank you, Sanket. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Thanks
Thank you.
everyone for attending and hope to see you again some other time. Thank you.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much. We'll meet again in the next sessions, masters. I will end the live and I'll share the links in the groups also.